Hey, so I was looking at some old pictures and videos and got a little bit nostalgic looking at all my old equipment. I started to reminisce about things I remembered about them. So I put together a little video for everyone to look at. Thanks for watching. When I picked up this dual Denon 2000, I remember there being kind of a learning curve to jump from my Technic 1200s and my vinyl to mainly using CDs on this dual player. I eventually did pick it up and it became a lot easier for me, and the whole weight and the whole setup procedure was so much easier. I think I shot this video when I was looking to sell the mixer, and that's why I felt dusty. Say what you want about Gemini, but that thing lasted. I used it for a number of years, and it was a good system. I mean, it still kind of works, other than these few LEDs on the top there that has gone out. Everything else worked really well. You know, typical 4-channel, 19-inch mixer, and had zone out, and you know, all the toys we needed for mobile DJing at the time. I just love this little system, and the dual 2000. I guess everybody had been using it before then, and mixing with it was so much cooler. This was the original setup. The top was so big with equipment in it, it was freaking heavy. After about 2 gigs, I started carrying the amp in a separate case. At this point, I thought I was getting ahead of myself by getting a smaller case, but then I went and bought bigger equipment. The Denon 9000 that I bought was a dual player, but it had individual disc drives, and those things weighed a ton. There was a time when I was buying a new effect light almost every month, right before the next gig. I'd have just one. I wouldn't buy in pairs. I learned my lesson the hard way on that one. I really fell in love with this color palette from Chauvet. When I first saw it, it had so many lights, so many patterns. It was a beautiful eye candy. You could just sit there and watch the different patterns run through it every minute. Problem was, it was so bright and intense that when you shined it on your dance floor, it would just blow people away. Nobody wanted to be in the daylight dancing. So, yeah. My first introduction to intelligent lighting were these American DJ scanners. They were beautiful when they were working right, and together they looked amazing. But it was an upsell item that no one really wanted to purchase from me, so these guys never got to see as much as they should have. These 2 lights were my go-to lights for pretty much every gig. They were small, light, and LEDs, so I could leave them on pretty much the majority of the night, and they wouldn't burn out or get hot. This little gem was a red, green, and blue circular dots back and forth to the beat of the music, and then the sparkle was just a white circular pattern, and I would use that for special dances, the first dance for bride and groom, or anything else like that. So I started the day planning to clean out all the stuff in storage and get rid of some lights and, you know, just clean up things. And this is what I did instead. I got rid of nothing. I don't think I'd ever use this many lights at one time for a gig. It's such a nightmare to set up, and the cord management is just horrendous. But since I'm outside in my backyard trying out these things, I thought I'd make it all look good. Well, put it all on, not actually make it look good. But you know what I mean. I'm sure we've all tried this before, or even thought about it. This is what it looks like. Cord management hell. Oh wow, flashing colored dots everywhere. I never realized how bad this looked. I thought it looked good, but this is the way I used to do it back then. I don't do that anymore.
I do like these little facade lights, or an LED strip light. I like the patterns they make, and they give me a nice little...
I remember the story of buying these. I never intended to buy moving heads. I went to that store to get a few more uplightings for an upcoming wedding. I ended up coming home with these two moving heads, about 8 uplights, and a DMX controller that I still have no idea how to use. Okay, the backstory about how I started setting up my derbies vertically instead of crossways. One night when I was running late for a gig, I of course forgot the crossbar of the T-stand. The place was really dark and I needed some dance lighting, so I had to set these up on my speaker poles. All in all, I kind of liked the effect. It gave me a good wash, and it's the way I've been running them since. Okay, by 2015, most DJs had already moved on from the Denon 6000, but when I found it, I thought, this has everything I need as a mobile DJ in a small package and a small price. It was so nice I had to grab another one. The reflective band on these headphones and the deep bass made these my favorite. So much equipment I used for a big wedding down in Oceanside. Hey, a picture of when my EV12s were brand new. They look just as clean today as they did then. Eventually I found some PV covers that worked over them and kind of kept them in the boxes for as long as I could. I love those things. I had them probably way too long, but they were just perfect for me. This is probably closer to what I've been using lately. It's got everything all packed up what I need. I use the Denon MC6000 skin on my backup. HP I have, and I like how it looks the same as the controller. And then this is the new Virtual DJ 2021. It's got its highs and lows. I haven't had a chance to really play with it yet, but this is pretty much what I've been using for the last year or so until they, shut us down. But I really like it. It worked for me. So 2020 rolls in, and I decide this year's going to be a great year, so I decided to pull the string and buy some new speakers finally, and get some new cases and everything, and then this happened. Hey, thanks for joining me on this nostalgic trip down memory lane.